Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Adventures in Collecting. We are back. It is our annual celebration of the first half of 2025. The first 6 months of this year has been quite the decade.
Strap in, everybody. Buckle up.
But we're here.
I'm sweating.
We're here.
So much that my hair is like.
Summer has hit in New Jersey. At least like that pre-summer, like it's just suddenly hot. Is happening. It's happening. But really excited. We have a longtime friend of the show as a guest for this special episode. Yeah, first longtime listener, first time caller. But before we hop into our lists,
except he's not going to hang up and listen.
You're
he's
here.
Be part of the show.
Yes, he's going to be very much so engaged and part of the show. Little bit of housekeeping. So first and foremost, it is June. We have our giveaway for the month is live, and it's Labubu. We have a Labubu. As promised on previous episodes on our video about my trip to Vietnam and Japan, you have your chance at winning a Labubu. With a 1 in 72 chance of getting the super rare. Have a seat. This is Mace Windu's favorite version of Labubu, because it's having a seat. He can tell it to have a seat, and it will successfully have a seat. So you can visit us at AIC_podcast on Instagram. There is a pinned post where you can enter to win yourself a Labubu. So go do that. You have the entire month to do it. It is, like I said, it's a pinned post. The rules are there. We will randomly select somebody who followed the rules, and you'll win a Labubu. It's that simple. I don't know if there's anything really else to add there. I opened mine. I got Hee, the little gray one. It's great. Love these things. I'm on board.
And the kids have
I'm on the
too?
Labubu train. Kids got them too. One sleeps with it every night. The other one does not. But yeah, they love their Labubus. We are a Labubu. We are a Labubu
the one
house.
That doesn't has it on her bag.
So we're worried that there might be a Labubu thievery situation happening due to popularity. So Labubu is not allowed to go to school.
It's fair.
So we enjoy Labubu at home, which is really funny because mine is attached to my backpack, so I feel like an absolute jerk. But like, I'm almost 40. I know where my backpack is all the time. But yeah. So win a Labubu. All right. So with that, like I said, we have a very special guest with us today. Somebody that has been our friend pretty much since the beginning, since we started doing this. One of the first friends that we made in the toy journalism sphere, content creating sphere, whatever you want to call it. He is the source of links. No one gets links up faster than this guy. He is a hoot, an amazing human being. We love seeing him in person, and now we get to have him on the show. Welcome to the podcast, John Preternia himself. He's here. There is a real person behind this account, and he's now joining us.
Thank
you. John, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Hello.
Always a pleasure to chat it up with you. It's nice to not be doing this waiting for the next like big toy event to do it in person. So so we're excited for your perspective, for the first half of the year. We've had some other people from the toy world on to do this in the past with us. We've had Jay Hernandez. We've had I think MCU Collector did it with us one year, if I'm not mistaken. So we're excited to have you
so
with
much
us today, man.
I'm really excited to do this.
Khalil has done this with us.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
that's right. Caster's Corner. Yeah,
all these people I know from the internet world. It's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, for those that are listening or watching for the first time, what we'll do is we have each compiled a list of 10 of our favorite releases. We all have our own kind of
Mm-hmm.
individual rules. In my case, I do not have rules this year. It just had to be something that came out within the calendar year. That's literally my only rule this year. But what we'll do is we'll start at 10, we'll work our way up and through, and if there's any kind of overlap, we'll just kind of hop in and say like, hey, that's on my list too, it's in this spot. Unless it is your number one, everyone hold your number one sacred, even if somebody else mentions it. When you get to your number one, we'll reveal it then. Yeah, does anyone else want to go over their personal rules before we hop into our 30
I
picks
use
here?
the old version of what I refer to as modified Dan Larson rules. If it was given to me, I would have had to have wanted to buy it. Nothing on this list has been given to me though, and it had to have been released within this year.
There we
I don't
go.
have any rules. Yeah, just
John, any
just I mean,
personal
whatever I
rules?
bought this
No.
year, pretty much. I think everything I bought this year. Sometimes like you forget, like you're like, did I get it last year? Or did it come out last year? But I think
Yeah,
everything is from this year, so I think I'm good.
like I always have to look like when was it
So
shipped, or did it
Yeah.
like did I buy it this year, but it's
yeah.
really last year's?
Yeah.
So I will say there is at least one thing. I'm just looking around real quick. There is at least one thing on my list that was supposed to arrive at the end of 2024 and it didn't until 2025. So I'm counting it, even though some people may have gotten it. Actually, not may have. Some people definitely got
Yeah.
it in 2024. Mine just did not arrive in 2024, so couldn't I couldn't qualify it for that year's list. So it arrived like in
Yeah.
January.
There's one you thought would have made
So
mine,
yeah.
but it was 100% a 2024 toy.
Okay. All right. All right. So why don't we let our guest kick us off here with the
Oh,
number
wow.
10
Alright.
pick. So
Okay.
John, why don't you start us
So
off?
I'm going to start off. First of all, I don't even know what this thing is actually called, but this is one of the Four Horsemen's. You may know it from I think it was the Necronet something wave. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yes, that's it.
Necronomicus wave.
So I just love this thing because like it kind of shows like again, I don't know its name, and I think that speaks to how fun it is. Because it's just like it has all these arms, it has crazy bone wings. It's just a fantastic falls apart. It's just a fantastic little figure. Like legitimately, I just like have it. I sit it on my desk. I mess around with him, make him move around. It's a lovely little figure. Like their little bone guys are just so fun. So this one was a surprise because I don't buy a ton of Mythic Legions, but I really like him. So he's my number 10.
The
Sure.
Terpiculi is his name. The
Yeah.
Terpiculi.
Those Four Horsemen names are not they're hard to remember.
Yeah.
Not only are they hard to remember, but they're also challenging to
Yeah.
pronounce, even if you're reading them. So it's funny, we posted a story up on Instagram about looking for people to respond with some of their favorite releases of the year, and
Somebody
I
picked that?
believe somebody
Oh, that
else
rolls.
did pick this. Let's see. I'm
I
gonna
feel
go
like
to the
that never
comments
happens
here.
or rarely happens.
Where is this? Makes for
Yeah.
absolutely riveting
It's
audio.
great
But
video too, by
no,
the way.
I know somebody
Careful,
picked
I can
this.
just
Hold
have
on.
him on the screen for the moment.
Um Mythic Legion's
Yes.
Necronomicus was the actual figure. So I guess they meant okay, so there's actually a character called
Yeah, that's like one of
Necronomicus.
their like leader in their lore
Necronominus.
that they have going on. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think I got him. Yeah,
But it's from that
it's a
wave.
good wave. He's got little skeleton
Yeah,
boys.
from that wave.
It's definitely one of the. I don't buy a lot of Mythic Legions, but I like their skeleton guys. They're cool.
Yeah. Dave, do you want to go next?
Yeah.
Do you want to go with your 10?
I was kind of back and forth, between a couple of things for 10. and I decided on this because I think it's the best version of this person so far. This is the first time in a while we're like heavy, in a few years where we're like heavy wrestling again. Because
Okay.
I didn't get a lot of like non-wrestling stuff because nothing really kind of jumped out at me. Usually there's something that has. I also haven't been out a lot. I've been like kind of busy. So, number 10, we have the AEW Jazzwares AEW Supreme, John Moxley. It's the best Moxley. Definitely the best heads, I think. Especially the extras, but even this one where you're like the default head, um, best Mox. He's kind of tall anyway, like, but he actually looks like in proportion for the first time, which is really cool. You get the extra shirts and stuff, and I know we're all stoked on seeing him week after week, but as the champion still. But this is, yeah, it's still BCC, so it's still like it's not Death Riders Moxley, but that's my number 10. I just think it's a great package.
I actually have one loose here.
Yeah, that
That's
is
the
a much
best
nicer
Mox
head
so far.
sculpt than they've done before.
Yeah,
He doesn't look like he's been
it
up
does
for
look
days.
really good,
and I think that's
no, and he's got his skin
Mhm.
tone is much improved. I love the alternate gray pants too. Like this is a really good figure. This was at one point on my top 10, but it did get bumped. Great figure, absolutely great figure. So my first pick for my number 10 is the Fleischer Superman. So this is the Superman body from McFarlane Toys that everyone has been kind of gaga about. I think the it was the Fidgetal figure Superman, so the one in like the classic colors. Of course, we got the wired cape. I just loved the Fleischer cartoons. Like I remember going to McCory's back in the day. And there was that like bargain bin of VHSs that was always like, in like the roller cart. And I remember watching all of these on VHS. They were probably like bootlegs. But it was probably public domain at that point, potentially. Uh these cartoons they still rock. There's only like 9 of them. um and with the state of the DC license and the future of how this is going to shake out, I doubt we'll get like the robots or the mummy that the Fleischer Superman fights. But they absolutely crushed this design here. The proportions, they finally fixed the ankles, um swappable hands, and that absolutely like squinty eyed Superman. Like, just it's almost like his eyes were closed all the time. I loved this design, loved the colors, and was super happy I was able to get it. So that's my
I
number
actually
10.
considered that one too.
So
It is.
it's a great figure.
I know. Just
Great
those
figure.
capes McFarlane does.
That takes us back around to you, John.
All right, let me see here.
Yeah, that is
So-
a good one.
Oh, this is a weird one that nobody might not have, but okay. So this is by a company called Rockcom Toys. They have a little line of like little 3-inch guys. They're called Mighty Maniacs. And I've just fallen in love with this duck head sculpt they have. They're essentially like Glyos figures. Like you can swap the parts out from them, and with other things you can build whatever you want. So I like this. I like this Ultra Magnus with the duck head. It was a drop that they did this year. It's almost Battle Beast like. But it's just like it's just a really fun line with like, I mean, with those like indie companies, they do all those homages and stuff like that. But these guys are really stuck with me, and I end up buying, or grabbing a few of their things from every one of their drops, and it's become quite a collection for me. But yeah, this guy is fun. I just always have him on my desk. He's a good time.
That's really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've several times almost picked up the one that's like Friday the 13th
Yeah.
homage. Like there's like the one that has like the hot. I don't know whether it's supposed to be Friday the 13th or the video game
Splatterhouse.
Oh yeah,
Slaughterhouse.
I mean, you can kind of go either way. Yeah,
Splatterhouse.
I got that
Yeah.
one kind of sitting on my desk here. Well, at the Jason head anyway. It's kind of like sitting on my desk here. It is kind of the. I think it's more Slaughterhouse than it is Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Yeah, looking at it up close. But yeah, they do some really cool stuff. They have that other line, the larger figures that look like
Yeah,
Jet Jaguar and Ultraman and stuff.
yeah,
They do some really cool
they're really
stuff.
fun.
All right, Dave, you're up with
All
your number
right,
9.
so talking again about the best versions of somebody, this is the best version of these two fine individuals. I of course am talking about the Power Town Ultras, 2-pack, Matt Cardona, Brian Myers. Matt comes with the NWA title and the robe. Brian Myers comes with his general entrance gear in the Impact Digital Media Championship, which no longer exists. But yeah, it's, I think, the best Matt and Brian since Mattel. And I thought pretty well of those the first run of Super Sevens, but I just think these are awesome. Power Town, for what they've put out so far, has done very well. Just hoping that we get that TNA series and then that next series soonish, because I am looking forward to those.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, most of the people in that TNA wave, or at least half, 2 of them, right, are no longer
one's in
at
AEW,
TNA.
one's in WWE.
So yeah, but yeah, I mean, I'm also pulling for them. They make a really good product, and they're outside of the long delays, they've been very transparent with and kind of giving to the community. The people who were delayed, they gave them the free figures and stuff like that. It was
figures were ready to be shipped, and Matt and Brian found a structural flaw, and so they were like, "All right, we're pulling these. We're not even going to ship them out, and we'll just remake new ones."
Yeah, that was crazy. I've never seen another toy company do that. Like literally, I've never seen that. All right. So that brings us to my number 9, which actually, Dave, good segue. These are the only wrestling figures on my list this year. So it's like we've flip-flopped. Like I've had quite a few wrestling figures, and that's not to say that I didn't think there were some really great wrestling figures this year. It's just there was some really good like action figure diversity, I guess you could say. There are some brands that are not normally on my list this year. But these 2 figures absolutely knocked out of the park for me. They maintain their spot as my favorite wrestling figures of the year so far. I am talking about the unsanctioned Road Warriors, Legion of Doom, Hawk, and Animal from Ringside Collectibles. These two are incredible. They are absolutely incredible figures, minus a rat tail, but like they are 99.9% perfect
Animal's
in my book.
But
they do everything I need them to do.
Great figure.
Yeah. They're awesome. And having never had the Mattel ones, which are super hard to come by these days, or if you can get them, you're gonna spend quite a bit on them. These 2 absolutely fill that void for me. And they're close enough to their representation during the New Gen era when they were still in the Fed. So yeah, absolutely love these guys. Very excited to see what Ringside does next with this unsanctioned line. Hopefully it's a lot more of stuff like this.
Great job for a first figure. Sold out out.
That's
like
the other thing.
Those, they did good.
Like I can't think of another line of figures. Like, and I honestly, like, I think we had this conversation when these first came out, or we might have had this at Toy Fair, but like, I cannot think of another line of figures that debuted the line with a live drop that delivered on a product that doesn't have like any like QC issues. Like they literally crushed a release to the point where they sold out twice actually.
Well, if anyone's gonna know like
and
QC issues and what to do and what not to do,
they knew. Yeah, and I mean the likeness
is really
on these
good.
is just so good.
So Ringside is making these?
Like, yeah, this is Ringside's owned. They're calling them the unsanctioned series, and they're basically on the same type. Here, let me make my screen big here for this part. They're on the same type of body as a Jazzwares figure. So they have the pop at the waist, and you can also pop them at the top torso.
Damn.
So, but yeah, so these are made pretty much like the Jazzwares. The only difference is, well, this is a Supreme, but they're more like a Jazzwares Supreme, to be honest with you, minus the butterfly joints. But like they are almost. I've actually not tried this yet, but if I take Moxley and I take Hawk, I should be able to put Moxley. The balls are slightly different, actually. Slightly different sizes, so you can't hot swap them, but it's the same concept and how they come together.
Same production style, we'll say.
But yeah, really cool. They did a great job with.
That's an interesting trend. A lot of toy retailers this year and last year have started doing their own toys.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, and I mean, like, these are much like what Big Bad is doing with the Big Bad Workshop and kind of Fresh Monkey Fiction. Like, it's clear whoever designed these, like, they know what they're doing. It's not like they have like like a hobbyist coming in and making these, like somebody who's like converting from fan to designer. Like, these are action figures. Like, these are made very, very well.
They've been doing those years of R&D, if you think about it, just by running a company.
Yeah. Yep. All right, John. So this takes us to your number 8.
Right. So number 8. I've been a big fan of this line since I guess it started last year. So the Joy Toy Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1/18 scale line. If I had to pick one, I'm going to pick April, because I just think it's one of the best representations of April that I've seen in action figure form. It's just a really nice, like, it's their own interpretation, but as you can see, she comes with boxing gloves. I don't remember when she had boxing gloves, but I kind of love her in them. But I really like it. And I really like the line in general. They've covered a ton of ground in less than a year of releasing product. But yeah, no, April's my favorite. I like that she also doesn't fall into like the tropes that we typically put April in, such as like having her be like the damsel in distress. Like, they didn't have any like any extra parts of like her tied up or anything like that. It's just a really nice 1/18 scale figure, and there's a lot of really nice figures in this line. But I really think she stands out.
Yeah, those Joy Toy turtles are really, really cool. This is the first time I've ever seen her like in somebody's hands. I've seen the turtles in person, and I was blown away, honestly, by I know, like, reading it that they're 1/18 scale, right? I know what that means, but seeing them in person and just seeing turtles like that size with that amount of detail, they are impressive. It's a very impressive line.
And turtles have never been done at that scale. Like, I mean, there's turtle product everywhere. So, I mean, even I'm kind of reaching that saturation point, but getting a 1/18 scale line and just having it be as good as it is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Dave, your number 8.
So first appearance by the sovereign nation of Mattel on the list.
From the Bay of Plastic? Or the Gulf of Plastic?
Ultimate Edition 26, Drew McIntyre. And Eric, this one I gotta you kind of almost bumped it up more than it was gonna be, because it's a great looking Drew figure, and Drew is guy in black and silver trunks. But the thing that kind of put it over the top for me is that he has peace fingers or a peace hand, and has the meme face. So like, if you have a gravestone, you can do the CM Punk's WrestleMania Dream, um, meme and play it out. And I was like, oh yeah, all right, that makes this like almost way better. Yeah,
You
and
mean
it's
this?
awesome. Like it's like that added value
Yeah.
that of course, Bill and Magic and Steve would have like come up with this and tried to figure out a way to get this in there.
I love that they're starting to lean into this a little bit more. Like they did it with The Rock too. That one that was in the Monday Night Wars wave that has the like the roll on his eyes, the meme face. This is what makes toys
the
fun.
only one
man,
they haven't hit
like
yet is The Rock in
doing...
the turtleneck with the bum bag, but like
Yeah, we'll get
dude,
that.
that's got Comic-Con
we've got to
exclusive
at
written
some point, right?
all
Yeah.
over it.
I mean, they've done
All
they've done
over
the
it.
Invisible John Cena. Now they're gonna get to any little thing, any little thing we can do.
That would be awesome. All right, so that takes us to my number 8. My number 8 is also a little guy. This is a new acquisition. This is something that came in kind of last minute here, but we've had lots of Darth Vader figures. We've had lots of Anakin Skywalker figures, but the most recent 3 3/4 vintage collection Anakin from or Darth Vader, I should say, from Revenge of the Sith. This figure is unbelievable. We don't often get swappable hands with vintage collection, and we've got the kind of the force hand there. He's got the dark under the eyes. He is ready to get obliterated on Mustafar. He is ready to not have the high ground,
but still be the
but
chosen one.
yeah, I love this figure. I love the way that this part of a 3-pack. I decided to focus on this one. This is the highlight for me, but the other parts of the 3-pack include like a Clone Wars era Anakin, and then Darth Vader from Return of the Jedi getting electrocuted. So the helmet's like slightly translucent. You can see a skull underneath it. Comes with lightning effects. But yeah, great 3-pack. It's like supposed to be the arc kind of Anakin. The other thing that's really neat about this figure is it has the new hips. So for people that have been playing with the vintage collection for a long time, know that the old hip system, you had to like twist it to get him to kick his leg out straight. This has those like regular barbell hips or whatever they call them, and has like the full pivot ankle. So it's like all of the articulation that you have in a Black Series figure worked down to vintage collection size. And yeah, it's just so good. So good. And that takes us back around to your number 7, John.
All right. So this one, I'm gonna go with the Count from NECA. I really could have put all 3 Sesame Street releases this year, but I think this one is actually it does a lot more. Like Bert and Ernie are great, but like you got the nice little like wired cloak here. He comes with accounting hands with like a 1, 2, 3. He's like, it's great. I love this figure. I love this line. Like as somebody who collected the Muppets line back in Palisades, and the Sesame Street line never came to be. It's great to see that this finally came about. And I mean, honestly, these would like completely destroy those ones today. But I mean, they're doing awesome. The reveals coming up look incredible. Collecting a Sesame Street line.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's one of those things where the last thing we want to do is celebrate the downfall of something, but with Diamond Select, not being around anymore, if that license is up for grabs, I would absolutely love to see them dip into the Muppets too. Do Sesame Street, the Muppets, just do all of it again. to have them all on the same scale. I had some of those Palisades ones back in the day. Unfortunately, they became very fragile over time. So I would love to get some of those key characters again. Have them together. But yeah, it's been a good year for vampires at NECA. This is not on my list, but another great vampire from our friends at NECA. But yeah. So Dave, that takes us to your number 7.
This one is an interesting one for me. It's one of those, I had no idea that we were ever going to get this figure. Like, I never thought, like, oh, this is something that we're going to do, until they made it. Well, this one's actually almost open already. But the other thing that I think is cool, too, is it brings an element that you rarely see in Mattel WWE figures, and kind of one of those things where we're like, oh, we've seen it change a little bit. And that is Hardcore Hack.
Hardcore Hack
comes like with barbed wire all over him, and it's like, why did we get, like, how did we get the Sandman for his like 6 months in WCW? But we did, and it's the fact that it exists is like insane on a Goon and Zodiac sort of level. But I love it because it is kind of like a very underrepresented part of WCW. Like, it's got this WCW logo on it, but he was definitely like new WCW logo era. I wish he had the hardcore title, but we had to get Golga, the Build-A-Figure, in there. But he comes with the kendo stick, the Singapore cane. It's ridiculous, and I love it.
Singapore cane. I forgot about that.
But yeah, it's funny. Yeah, like they're never gonna make this again. Like, but it rules. The fact that it exists rules. Yeah, so this is it, and we're getting those ringside exclusives that are like kind of beat up. So we've got a mainline release with barbed wire. Like, that's wild to me.
Yeah.
So that's
for first Mattel figures ever with color.
I guess if you want to count
that Stone Cold,
the bruise, but and then we had the defining moments, Mankind from Hell in a Cell. So like they've teetered on that, but never for like something that's in stores.
Yeah. Well, maybe we're headed in that direction. All right. So my number 7 is something that was originally at the start of the year was much higher on my list. It's in a weird spot where I have to wait to bring it up, or I'm going to reveal what it is before I say what it is. This was much higher on my list. This was something I was very much so anticipating last year, and like I said, it did not come until early this year. But the second McFarlane Toys Kickstarter, the Medieval Spawn. So Medieval Spawn is my favorite iteration of Spawn, I guess you can say. My favorite colorway, my favorite look. And this figure was a whole lot more fun than I really even anticipated it would be. It does have the hard cape, which McFarlane Toys is kind of moving away from now. But much like the first Kickstarter Spawn, the whole figure has a more premium kind of feel to it. It doesn't move like your typical McFarlane Toys release. It just feels, like I said, it just feels a little more premium, the joints and everything. What's really cool about this figure, for those that didn't get it, is it's modular. So it comes with all of these different pieces that are magnetically held on. So you can switch gauntlets, you can switch the chest piece out. The pieces that hold his cape together, those come out and they have different like logos, a crap ton of different weapons, different heads, unmasked, masked. Just like you can really kind of customize this figure and configure it the way that you want to, which is just really neat. And I always loved the black variant of this, which is what we have here. It's not the typical like normal blue one. So I was able to get that variant of it. Happy to be part of both Kickstarters and to support the Spawn line. It's one of my favorite comic book lines of all time, and yeah, I'm super stoked to have this in the collection. So that is my, what is that, number 7? That's my medieval Spawn. All right, and that takes us back around to you, John, with your number 6.
Okay.
Moving right along
Number
here.
6 is so this is Wolverine. This is by Hono Studios. This is a 1/6 scale figure. I never really thought I'd get into too much 1/6 scale stuff, but it's starting to pile up in my house, and I think this is one of the best comic representations you can get of Wolverine. Um, it has the seamless joints, so you can move his arms around however you want. But like the portraits, the stature and everything, it's just a perfect tiger stripe Wolverine. And I'm kind of excited to see Kono's additional stuff that they're going to be doing. They're doing a lot of Marvel Comics type stuff, while Hot Toys more focuses on the movies. And they're starting to dip into like Star Wars, so they're doing stuff from Rebels. Kind of avoiding like that. Yeah, they're
I
kind of
saw
like
that.
doing that
Yeah.
stuff and also it's priced really well. Like these are priced under, like this one was priced under $200. So it's like kind of like if you want to get into one
Nice.
Wow.
sixth, this is a good start. This is kind of like you can feel out like, do I feel like I got that value out of this figure? And this is a fantastic figure. Like if you were to get one, I would start with Wolverine.
I love the way that the soft goods fit on him too, because that's usually one of those things with anytime there's a figure with soft goods, like especially like a
Hmm.
spandex suit, it's either like too tight and they can't move,
Yeah.
or it looks baggy. That looks like it's actually like
Yeah, it's
done
the
right.
soft goods feel really good on this. Like it really surprised me all around. I'm really really happy with how this one turned out.
Very cool. I think that's going to end up, well, I mean, unless you have more 1/6 on your list. I think that's the first time a 1/6 figure has appeared
Yeah,
in
I think
on one
so.
of
Oh, look at that. See,
these top 10 lists.
it is the only one, I promise.
Dave,
So
you're up
we're gonna
next.
return to South Philadelphia by way of Japan. Um, and Eric, I'm surprised you actually don't own this. This
Okay.
is the there was another one of figure from this collection that I was close to putting on here, that there was like really like 5 things that could have been in that 10 spot. But this is by far, I think, the best one of these and my favorite one of these. I think it just nailed the look, nailed the likeness, and nailed like the stature of this character, of this person. And it
Oh,
is Zombie Sailor Toys Wrestling's Heels and Faces, Series 3 already. Tajiri, Yoshihiro Tajiri. The
the
Buzzsaw.
Japanese buzzsaw
And
himself.
I mean, it's such a great, like, they nailed the likeness on it, which is no surprise. Like, Zombie's done very well. Yeah,
that
but also
that
like
like
he's got kind
evil
of like the
grin.
hunched shoulders too. It's perfect. Like he absolutely nailed it. You know, the because he's always more of like,
Yeah.
Even the tape on the fingers, like it's so good.
Yeah, and having
Mhm.
seen him in person,
Recently.
like, he does, yeah, that's
Mhm.
how he's like,
Yeah,
he's
he's very
Danhausening
like
before
very
Danhausen.
like his gestures. He like gestures for the back row, basically. Mhm.
Yeah, emotive. He's a very emotive talent. All right, so that takes us to my
Yeah.
number 6. My number 6 um is a figure of a character that means a whole hell of a lot to me, and my childhood, and our good friend of the pod, Blaine, brought this to life almost from like soup to nuts. My favorite piece of haulathon this year. I know you are, but what am I? Pee Wee Herman. The NECA Ultimates Pee Wee is just amazing. I love all the different faces on it. You can obviously hit all of the key Pee Wee poses with it. Paul Rubens, unfortunately left this mortal coil after a long battle with a long private battle with cancer. If you have not seen the documentary on Max and you are a fan of Pee-wee or a fan of his other work, including Mystery Men, I still want Mystery Men
I'm
action
shocked it
figures at
doesn't
some point.
exist, to be honest.
But yeah, it's an absolutely incredible documentary, and if you can get your hands on this figure, I think it's up for pre-order still on Big Bad. It's an absolutely incredible figure. This is one of 3 head sculpts it comes with. It was clearly done with care. I mean, we know from talking to Blaine about this, they worked very closely with Paul when he was still alive, to the point where he was personally approving these, and working with the team over at NECA. So hopefully, the popularity of this figure means we'll get some other characters from the Playhouse. Would absolutely love a Cherry, at least, to put him with.
Mappy
Um,
or
but yeah,
Globy.
one of those NECA
Mhm.
like accessory sets that just comes with like a bunch of pieces of the Playhouse. Like, give me like Chicky Baby, we already have Terry, he comes with Terry, but give me like Randy and Globy and Conky and Cherry. Just throw them all in a box, call it a Playhouse accessory set, and let's make it happen. But yeah, so that's my number 6, which sends us back around to the beginning to John here with his
Okay.
number 5.
Yeah.
We're halfway through.
All right. My number 5 is Nemesis in the Marvel Legends line.
Oh
Build a
yeah.
figure from X-Men Wave earlier this year. Nemesis is Marvel's catch-all name for characters that have terrible act names, such as Genocide, Holocaust, etc. So that's what they do. That's what they do. They rename them into that. But I love this one because, like, you got that skull in there. It's all movable. I think it was it was worth the wait to get this dude. He's really nice. Like, I mean, they didn't, it's we don't get a ton of Build-A-Figures anymore, so getting this one was pretty cool. So
Yeah. They did a really,
That's a
really
great
cool
yeah.
figure.
job with that too. I love those figures that have like the removable dome where you can take it off and like just the head around and then put the dome back on. I always think of the Fortnite the like nebulous guy, the blue. He's like made
Oh
out of
yeah,
blue
yeah,
slurp.
yeah.
I forget
Ripley.
Yeah,
his name.
Ripley.
Yep. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
Ripley.
cool.
With the same thing where you could like take the dome off, move his little like
Yep.
the little eye pieces around. Yeah,
Mm.
very, very cool. Dave, I think we are off to you
Yeah.
for your number 5.
So this one was a long time coming, but it finally did, and definitely an interesting way to get this person's first figure in the line, and that is from All In, Jazzwares AEW, Will Ospreay from All In 2023, I believe this was.
God, is it?
And
Wow.
yeah,
Jeez.
yeah, I believe it is. Because it was all in London, right? Like,
Yeah. And no, I wasn't in
mhm.
disbelief of your fact. I was more in disbelief that like,
But it's got
yeah, it takes a
it's
while
got the jacket,
sometimes.
and I think that's the coolest part. Of course, he's got the UK flag gear on, which I will never see because this will probably never leave the package. But I think just because he has that entrance coat and the extra screaming head, that's what makes it like a great first Will Ospreay figure. They nailed the likenesses. Um, it's great. Like, it looks great in the package. I love the commemorative packages that they do for the shop AEW exclusives. Um, yeah, it's just perfect. It's a perfect first AEW Ospreay because we have the New Japan Ospreay that came prior, and now there's the one that's on shelves, which is really good too. But he doesn't have that entrance coat, so it's a
Yeah,
cool like
very cool.
first Ospreay.
All right. So I mentioned at the top that my number 5 was like in limbo, and I'm calling the audible, and I am not gonna say the one that's actually written on the list in front of me. The one that I'm like was on the fence with is the one that is
Okay.
gonna win out here. So my number 5 represents, I would say, my second favorite like kaiju that's not Godzilla from like the Godzilla universe. Um, as I've waxed poetically many a time, Godzilla is something that is very important to me. And I love this movie. But they did Kyle and the team at Super 7 did an absolutely insane job bringing Space Godzilla to life here in their Ultimates line in kind of like a twofold homage here. So it's in the color, not only is it in the colorway of the poster, but it is also in the colorway of the Trendmasters figure from the 90s
Mm.
that I did not have. I did not have that. I remember wanting it and did not get that. Had the like regular like brown or green colored one. But this thing is just massive. I mean, its tail is like resting on my shoulder right now. These ultimates, these Super 7 ultimates for Godzilla are incredible. Um, Kyle and Matt and the team over there did an absolutely amazing job bringing these to life. Uh, don't Not entirely sure what is in store for this line moving forward, given all the things that have happened over at Super 7. Um, but I will say I'm glad that we got the ones that we got. I'm glad that Mothra is going to make it out as well. It seems that was like the last one that went up for pre-order, and we didn't get that dreaded dreaded email that said that they didn't meet the minimum quantity. So hopefully that still means that Mothra is coming. But yeah, so my number 5 is the Super 7 Ultimates poster homage Space Godzilla.
Well,
Yeah.
it's the only Super 7 Godzilla I actually have. I loved it though. The color, yeah, I love that
This
color
one?
scheme.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks great too. Like my favorite Godzilla is the Art Adams one. I can't pull him out right now without absolutely destroying my display, but like I love the
Mhm.
wacky colorway ones. So like having like Burning Godzilla, just a giant translucent orange Godzilla posed next to this guy, like it's just a great juxtaposition and kind of is all about what Godzilla toys are about. Like, going all the way back to like the Safubi ones, these wacky colorways are so much fun. So much fun. So I hope they continue with this line. And I hope whatever designer and sculptor is working on it over there has as much care as Kyle and some of the folks that were let go, had for this
Yeah.
property. So one can only hope. All right. So, John, that takes us to your number
Okay. My number
4.
4 is one I actually just opened the other day. It's been sitting around for a while, and I was blown away by it. So this is Transformers Age of the Primes Megatronus. You can just kind of see like he just has such he just has such like I hate to say aura around him, but yeah, it's kind of what it is. He's just solid. He stands there. He's very menacing. And man, I just really
Mm-hmm.
All the
yeah.
flaming pieces.
Like they really went all out on this one. And he's not like he doesn't feel like he's very solid. He doesn't feel like he doesn't have like those hollow parts or anything like that. But yeah, you get all these flame pieces, and he just has all these like little attachments and guns and machetes and like a spear. It's crazy, but yeah, I'm really glad I opened it because I I'm typically like I'll buy Transformers or like I'll just order them and then like they'll come and then I'll just kind of shove the box away somewhere. So, but yeah, I like it. It's one of those like lines where I'm like, yeah, I want to kind of put a display on someday, and that day just never comes. But yeah, this one was good. I was just like, you know what, I'm going to open him, and I was really impressed. And he shot right up in like one of my tops for this year.
Yeah, I think that's one of those things about this Age of the Primes line. Like a lot of the designs are just like super like
Yeah.
dialed in on these ancient
Mm-hmm.
these
Hmm.
ancient bots. And even like when we were looking at them at Toy Fair when we were all in
Yeah.
that Hasbro thing together. Just seeing those in person really kind of sold me on them, and I've been really itchy for just getting the
Mhm.
main primes, and so far I have resisted. But I saw that one on pegs the other day, and I was
Yeah,
like,
they're
Yeah.
really good.
"Oh." Yeah, it's really good, really really good. Dave, before we jump into
Yeah.
your number 4, well, actually, no, we'll save this for before we do our
All
ones.
right.
Let's keep going. So yeah,
So
go
number
ahead and do your
4,
number 4.
it is the only elite that. Oh no, I'm sorry. The hack was another elite, but it's the second elite that made this list, and somebody who was desperately in need of one. There had only been one prior, and this is the second one. And just like the first one, it's a fantastic figure. Definitely shouts to Bill. Like, and that is Damage Control Kyrie Sane.
Oh yeah,
Um, just fantastic figure. She comes with the umbrella. She's gone more back to the like straight up pirate gear. So I guess we're in need of another one. But yeah,
that's always the case with wrestlers. You're always chasing
this
that
is
gimmick.
this is just a phenomenal figure. Probably the best one in the series, to be honest. Um,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I
Series
agree. I
115
agree.
Kyrie Sane, just phenomenal figure.
Yeah, I absolutely
Yeah,
adore that
great
figure as
sculpt,
well.
great
One
likeness.
of my favorite elites of the year. Yeah. Yep. Oh, okay. So that's now
Yes.
we're on to me for number 4. Okay, so I will say I'll say this. This is the first year that we've been doing this where I can honestly say 2, 3, and 4 are basically a tie for second for me. Like, it was very difficult for me to put these next 3 that I'm going to talk about in some sort of order. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you ask me tomorrow, and I I would move these around. Um, but I'm going to stick to what I have on the board here for my number 4. A company that doesn't often make its way onto my list. A company that I criticize very heavily, very heavily. In and you know we don't really do that here, but I do criticize this company heavily, but I have to give it to them. This is one of my favorite figures of the year, and like I said, this could have very easily been number 2. The Mezco Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones. Um, I mean, just it's just incredible. It is just an absolutely incredible figure. It comes with some of the most insane accessories I've ever seen a figure come with, like including, and I have it here as part of like my on desk display right now. Like, you get the full
Hmm.
pedestal with like flocked um
Interesting.
moss on it, and then of course the fertility idol. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hold this straight so that way it balances. But yeah, you
There
get
it
the
goes.
fertility idol. There it goes. Um, but you get like arrows, like little like poison darts. You get like the spider webs that he walks through with the spiders on them that you can like attach to his back. Multiple heads. I love how they tackled one of the most difficult things with an Indiana Jones figure, which is like making it so that way his hat fits well on his head. They made each of the head sculpts, and I'll try to get this off here without breaking it. Oh, did I drop it? Nope, I got it. Each of the heads comes with you can remove the top of the hair, so that way the hat ports on and actually sits naturally
Okay.
on his head. Which is just amazing. And then therefore you don't lose the ability to change his expression, so you get different expressions, and you can do as you please with them. Uh, yeah, this is just awesome, just absolutely awesome. And it's the other thing that's really great is it scales perfectly with the Hasbro Adventure series. So if you want to up um your Raiders Indy, if the Adventure Series 1 doesn't do it for you, you can absolutely put this with your Adventure Series figures and give Indy a little plus up. I have Tote sitting over there. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to open that yet, so we'll see once I have the Ark of the Covenant in hand, where Tote falls on this list going forward for the rest of the year. But yeah, they did an absolutely bang up job, and the likeness. Harrison Ford's another one of those guys that like they've got the old man Han and old man Indy, like that likeness is great. They figured it out. They still are like everyone kind of struggles with the young Harrison Ford, and I think this is the best one so far. So yeah, that's my number 4. So John, back to you for your number
Okay, so
3.
number 3, this is a video game figure. From a video game I've bought 2 times and still not played. So this is Venom from the Spider-Man 2 game.
I was hoping you were gonna put him on your list.
I have
so
no
hoping.
idea why he is like 10.5 inches tall, but I think it's the funniest thing ever. I'm sure there's a reason in the game. Again, I keep buying it thinking I'm gonna play it and then just never get around to it. So I love him. He's just so big compared to like anything else. And he's fun. He moves around. He moves around well. I love that they did because I'm always a big fan when they don't do Venom with the tongue. I kind of like the just alien smile Venom. That's always been my favorite. So, I love this one. He's just fun to mess around with. I got him and Hulk at the same time, and they've just been they've been sitting on my desk just messing around, and yeah. I can't say anything about it. Of course I mean, Venom's like reaching that point like Spider-Man where like how many Venoms can I have? But this one's just so much different. It's nice.
Yeah, and I love that one effect piece that they made for this one, that like the like translucent
Yes.
like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
drool piece that you can put
Yeah.
in the open mouth is a cool new thing
Yeah.
that they haven't done yet. So yeah, very cool. 10.5 inches of Venom.
He's
Sounds
just
like an
so
album
big.
title.
It does. It does.
Like that an
Oh
80s
man.
metal
All right,
album.
Dave. Yeah. Well, that would be like 12 inches of Venom,
Yeah.
right? Because it would have to be like a
That's
vinyl
true.
size, like, or 7 inches of Venom.
It was an EP. It was a 10-inch. So
Perfect.
I have something very similar for my top 3. I've changed it twice and finally
Okay.
decided like where I left it yesterday, today was like, okay, that's it for now. But this is like, I'm sure something else will come out that'll kind of venture into this top 3 area, but maybe not. And the position of these 3 can change throughout.
Okay. All right.
So this first one, number 3, is something that I never thought I'd ever see. And I was like, you know what? It's almost like it's 2 different figures. It could occupy 2 different spots, just because there's enough deco difference on this, between the regular and the chase. And
Okay.
it is. I have them both right here. Mattel Ultimate Edition 25, Great Muda.
Oh, okay. I thought for sure this was going to be your number 1. Now I'm all out of
It
sorts.
could
That would have
very
been
well
my
like become number 1 at a certain point, but like even with just the face paint differences, like it's almost like different. It's a different figure.
Oh yeah.
But it's great because you're representing almost like 2 80s eras of Muda, and this is another Bill, like a Bill special where there's that much level of appreciation and care to put into it that like, full disclosure, my chase didn't come with the green mist, but I'm like, I wouldn't put this one with the green mist anyway, so I'm cool with that. Like, I wouldn't display it that way. And it's not something I've lost sleep over. it's just great. Like, and the fact that we're getting effectively 3 more Mudas throughout this coming year is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, to another
yeah,
another
and then the
chase, right?
superstars, which is like a 4-in-1 basically.
Yeah, because each one comes with 3 heads, and each one the 3 heads are different colors. So yeah, you could effectively, it's a lot of
Yeah,
Muda.
but I
It's a whole
mean,
lot of Muda.
it perfectly encapsulates like late 80s, early 90s Muda, and
Yeah,
it
I
when
have
you
the
say
standard one,
it could have
and
been my number one, it could have. But there's 2 things where I'm like, I don't know if I can move these.
I am now really curious. What and we do this every year. Every year, we don't guess out loud what our number ones are for each
Could
other,
never guess what
and
yours
we
are. I think I know what this year's is, or this first half's is, and I think it's going to be hard to
yeah,
unseat it.
but
But
I would have thought that Muda was your number one. All right, so that takes us to our number 3. For me, my number 3 is something that I got very recently and was absolutely blown away from, I should say. When they announced that they were doing these figures, when Jada announced that they were doing these figures, this is the one that I was most excited for. My favorite character from the game, Street Fighter 2,
Oh
okay,
wow.
Blanca.
yeah, that is great.
This thing is absolutely insane. It crouches like no other figure I've ever seen. Like, he hits all of the poses. The hair is this like soft material all the way through. So like he's got this like this like crazy neck thing. So you can actually
You can get
have
him into
him
the ball.
do. Oh yeah. And he's got those like massive gorilla arms with butterfly joints. So you can actually crunch him to the point where he can reach under his legs and get himself into the full like cannonball
That's
position.
great.
That's awesome.
It's just this thing is just wild. He comes in the wave with Sagat, who's also an incredible figure. And yeah, I mean, this is just, he comes with the electric
I
effects
was
that you
gonna
can put
ask.
around him, but the poses you can get him in are just incredible. His neck movement alone, like it's it's just
fantastic.
insane. It is crazy.
And you can do that
It is
weird
absolutely
uppercut.
crazy. Oh yeah. Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, this figure is absolutely wild. Absolutely insane. I love what they're doing. I hope Capcom like recognizes the quality that they're doing with this line and lets them have at it at some of their other properties, cuz like I can't imagine how awesome a Resident Evil line would be from them. Like, all the different zombies, all the different characters, like, yeah, this is, and like I said, same with the figure before this with Indiana Jones. Like, this could have been number 2. Like, you ask me tomorrow, and maybe it will be. But yeah, just absolutely insane figure. Jada knocked it out of the park with
I can't wait to
Blanca.
get that one.
So
I'm looking forward to it.
yeah. I actually can't wait. I hope Fake Eyes gets this too, because like he's got a badunk. So he's gonna have fun with
It'd be cool if they did player
taking
2,
pictures.
because I know they're venturing out into some of the player 2s, the blue and orange.
Did you see their San
I
Diego
did, yeah.
Comic-Con
It's
reveal?
exciting.
Hold on. I'm gonna pull this up real fast, because Dave, if you haven't seen this yet, you're getting your reaction to this live is actually going to be like very worth our time here. We'll take a super quick break from and I'm gonna pull this up, because I
It's
saw
crazy that
this.
they're doing
Hold on,
that.
let me
and
put this water down.
Literally, I literally gasped. Like, I literally gasped out loud. Their San Diego Comic-Con exclusive
no way.
is and in both flavors.
Is it a 2-pack, or is it like you have to get them separate?
It's a tease.
I don't
So
know.
I think it's going to probably
Yeah,
be
it's
like a
a
deluxe figure
so
pack, is my guess.
I would guess that it's gonna be player
Yeah.
2 Dalsum.
And then the other one should be M. Bison.
Um,
So
Well,
like
yep,
maybe
then
M.
player 2
Bison, maybe
Kenya.
he has
yep.
some kind of an effect to do his Psycho Crusher.
Yeah.
Because Dawson
Yep.
didn't come with any fire
But I just
effects, did he? I don't recall. Yeah.
no.
So you could,
I'm looking at it
oh
right now.
man, they
No, he
could do like
didn't.
a
Just
yoga
stretchy
flame head.
pieces.
That'd be so cool.
Oh
Yep,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
with the
yeah.
the cheeks blown out. Yeah, that would be amazing. But yeah, they teased this, and I just
That's great.
unbelievable. They're on a
And you know
whole
how I feel
other
about the Mega
level
Man
over
figures,
there.
so
What they're doing. Yeah. So I hope
I
Capcom
was gonna say we're actually due
takes
for some
notice
more
of the
Mega
amazing
Mans.
things that they're doing over there. Yeah, yeah, we are. We are. There's more of those. A lot more characters to choose from. All right, so John, back to you for your
Okay.
number
My number
2.
2 is the inverse of Jada. I'm gonna go with Skullomania from Store Collectibles. So again, there's another one that's just like, I have like a weird list of figures that I just thought would never get made, and this year I'm pretty much almost all of them have been hit except for the big wheel. So like, okay,
Maximum Fury's Big
sure.
Wheel.
But if they want to sell like three of them, yeah, like Skullomania, like I mean this is like Street Fighter EX games. Like they're terrible games, but I mean, it's such a fun like design. It sounds like a Common Rider type thing.
Oh yeah.
And they did it. It's so good. Like I don't even care that it's not in like the 1/12 scale. It's in like the Storm's fake 1/12 scale where everything's like 6 feet taller than anything else. But oh man, I love him.
Yeah.
Like he even has like a little like zipper on his back.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's such a fun figure. Like it moves like so well. Like you can see that storm squeak, but like you get the legs like up like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy good. And like
It squeaks,
They
but
hold that position.
they
they
hold their
do, yeah.
positions. So
Like and that's kind of you were actually talking about the other day when you guys were talking about like people worried about the Maximum Hulk and like the bendy stuff. Like they don't make plastic like that anymore that deteriorates. Like this stuff, it holds up.
Hmm.
It's not gonna deteriorate.
yeah.
You'll be fine. I think like the plastic may outlast you.
Yeah. Like
So
my Minoru Suzuki is bigger
Yeah.
than he's ever been, but
yeah,
it's a great figure.
yeah. The store makes great stuff. I'm really excited for like their arena line, the actual true 1/12 scale stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna have Jada, I'm gonna have Storm. I'm just like it's like a it's nice. It's nice to have a lot of stuff.
I will say I'm glad the arena line isn't also doing
Yes.
Street Fighter 2. Like I'm glad they're
Yeah.
doing the alpha thing. Like that way there's just some like
Yeah.
market separation there. Cause that the Street Fighter 2 stuff is being handled so well. I would hate to see somebody come in and be like,
Mhm.
undercut them. And granted, the price is still a little bit higher. But yeah, I think it's cool that they're focusing on. I think it's like
Yes,
Alpha 3,
yeah.
right?
And I
Street
mean they've
Fighter Alpha
already like
3.
not
Yeah.
announced or teased or shown like they've like 4 figures in. So like they've done like Ken, Ryu, Sag, and then I think like they announced like Charlie and there's a Chun Li, but they're pretty distinctively different
Yeah.
from like the Street Fighter 2 that Jade is doing. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah. All right, Dave, you're number
Okay,
2.
so this is this may surprise you that this is number 2. You
Okay.
had your first choice of what you thought my number 1 was going to be. This is probably what your second choice would have been, and I have a feeling we're about to do.
I'm guessing
this is going to be the overlap figure.
I have it ready, but I'm telling you, it's not going to overlap anymore. But go ahead.
Papa Emeritus 4, Cardi, of course. The ghost figures are a favorite of mine every year. And this is no exception for, probably everybody's favorite Papa. Papa 4. I don't know if I ever intend on setting them up with the like whole as the whole pontiff. I think he's going to stay in his suit, but just a great figure. Like, speaking of Kyle, these are just, it's been 4 straight just bangers, and I'm looking forward to not only 5. I already pre-ordered it, but I'm looking forward to like seeing this coming tour and seeing the live presentation for Papa 5. But yeah, I'm a big Ghost fan. I love them, and this is just that iridescent blue blazer. Like they nailed it, and he's got the FU in there.
Where is it? There you go. Kyle needs. Yeah, I have to show
Yeah.
it. Kyle would want me to show it. There you go. No. So this was my game time decision, Dave. So I had a sinking suspicion that he would be very high on your list, therefore represented, and I made the decision of which of the two brought me more joy in the first half of this year. And as much as I love Ghost and love this figure, the Space Godzilla was the one that won out. Now we'll revisit that at the end of the year.
And again,
we'll see
could
how the
easily
rest of
be
the
in
year
number
goes.
1.
But
like the top 3 are for me are going to be tough to beat, and they may switch spots because they did in the week thing leading up to this. Papa was number 1 for a long time.
All right, so that leaves us with my number 2, and I'm gonna do a quick shout out to friend of the pod Cal at Side Fig Gig. He had this as his number 1 for the first half of the year, but it is my number 2. It is the first time a figure from this company has shown up on any of our lists. This game is incredible. This video game is incredible. This is one of the most absolutely stacked action figures I have ever opened. I like, it was one of those things where like I couldn't fathom how many accessories it actually came with, and like as I kept opening, I was like, wait, there's more. There's still more in here. Wait, there's another layer to this tray. It was just like accessory after accessory. The Good Smile Company Figma Tears of the Kingdom Link Deluxe. So this thing is insane. It is the best, like, I think, representation of video game Link that we've ever had in figure form. I have the Kid Link Figma, and it's good, but there are things about it that I distinctly did not care for. Whereas this, I would change nothing. It is incredible. Like I said, you get an array of accessories with this. I mean, to the point where you can pop him at the waist, and he comes with the like slate effect that allows him to like travel up through things and like kind of like transport himself through physical material, so you can make it look like he's just like portaled into something, which is incredible. You get a couple of distinct expressions. There's soft goods in his cape. You can kit him out different ways, like with different weapons, including if you've ever played the game, there's this amazing like building system where you can like attach things to other things. He comes with like a stick with like the rock attached to it. It's just it's really, really, really cool. And the game is awesome too. So just the detail on this is my number 2.
Were you shocked when you opened him how big he
Really,
is
really
for a Figma? I was
Yes.
when I first opened, I was like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
this is a Figma." He's huge.
Yeah, and he's actually
Is
1/12
he?
scale, which I'm really,
That's
really happy with. Yeah, like usually their stuff is
yeah. It's on the
small.
smaller
Like,
spectrum, yeah.
but like if you put
Oh,
him
wow.
next to another 1/12 figure, and
Okay.
he's a teenager, like
That's
that's
great.
right. That like compared to like an Indiana Jones, like an adult and a like a 18-year-old, a 17-year-old. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
that works. That's part fairy. So it's supposed to be a little short, but yeah, I mean, like in the world of video game stuff, it's just it works. It works really well. Yeah, but super cool, and I'm really excited for the Ganon and Zelda that are coming.
Yeah,
From Tears
Ganon
of the
should be
Kingdom
coming
as
next
well. So,
month, I think. Yeah.
fingers
Who
crossed.
knows?
I know with all the shipping stuff, right? Okay, so before we hop into our number ones, we did ask our followers, listeners, to submit
Yeah, this
their
is a
number
good spot for
ones.
this.
So yeah, I'm just gonna read off a couple here. So we've got at No Chewing, on Instagram, the Mafex Spider-Man
Okay.
2099.
Yeah.
It's a good one. We've got at blurred underscore
Yeah, what's
baron
the sitting
underscore
there?
underscore.
He's not
Oh
my
yeah,
number
there,
one. I
there he
just know I
is.
had him by my desk. Very good.
Good figure. I had my first Mafex experiences happened this year, and I've pretty much stuck
Oh,
with the DC
congratulations.
stuff. But like, I I
It's
get
good.
it. I get it now. I understand. Um, yeah, that Dark Knight Returns Batman, like the Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns Batman, is my favorite Batman figure that has
Mhm.
ever been made ever. Like, it's
Yeah.
unbelievably good. Then we have at blurred underscore baron underscore maximum Spider-Man. So, you know, of course, probably on a lot of people's lists. EIC04 says Chester the Cheetah.
Wow.
So I don't have Chester handy, but I do have Tony the Tiger. Yeah, Jada is doing an amazing job with these mascots. I mean, just Jada is doing an amazing job with
Yeah, they're
blank. That's
you think
pick
of them
pick
as
something.
the diecast
They're
company, but their figures have been
yeah,
for a couple of
they're
years.
doing some incredible
They've
things.
really hit some home runs.
Yeah. Oh, the mascots are great. Sorry, go ahead.
Dave, here's one for you. At creepy NJ, best friend of the pod, Jada Toys Cupman is on his list, or the Black Series Sebulba.
See, I thought Cupman was last year.
So
I thought that was.
It's one of those ones where a lot of people got him tried to get him last year and didn't, and got him this year. So I think a lot of people are counting
he was on mine for
some of
last
those.
Year.
Yeah, distribution's a weird thing.
But great figure.
And then the last one, shouts
yeah,
to
Sebulba is good too. That's a really good figure
shouts
if
to
you don't have it. Like, I love how they actually get him to balance like on his like hands and stuff like that. It's really cool. Like, Black Series is doing some cool stuff right now.
hopefully they can. That would be an amazing Black Series piece, is like one of those pod racers, but they would be it would just be so large, especially his with those massive engines. Yeah, but I could see them doing something like that. That might be cool. And then last but not least, friend of the pod, Jersey Maniac collector, Crab Louie. I had to look at that. I had to look that one up, and then I realized it was Mezco. But yeah, part of their Rumble Society. It's the he's a
that's
crab
a cool one.
man. He like literally has like a crab as a head. It's very interesting. And I love that his name is Crab Louie, like the dish.
Mezco's in-house stuff is really neat. It's just, man, I got to stay away from it. It's like, it's dangerous. It's expensive, and it piles up quickly. But yeah, they make really good. Their in-house stuff is great.
Yeah, they're cool character designs. That whole Rumble Society thing, like, say what you will, I would say what I would about them, but their in-house design stuff is just it really is incredible. And it's unique. So you don't see a lot of people out there doing super original stuff all the time, and everything they do with Gomez and all those Rumble Society characters, very, very cool.
Original IP is, I think, their best stuff.
Yeah. All right, so that takes us into our number ones. We have had no crossover thus far, which is crazy. But yeah, so let's start it off. John, do us the honors.
Well,
what
I don't think we are going to have any crossover, because my number one is Marvel Legends Rom. Again, back to my weirdos list. I have Skullomania, I have Rom, I have Shumagarath, and the Big Wheel. And in this last year, I've knocked 3 of those off my list. But this, like, first of all, I mean, it's cool that Marvel Legends is doing this. Like, that they've been doing those like Marvel adjacent characters. They could do Marvel Godzilla one day. That'd be really awesome. But like, for right now, like getting Rom, and just like how hard they went with this one. Like, he's like, he's got the good silver, like not that like swirly silver stuff. And man, he's just like he's built like a Marvel legend, but like man, he's got like a huge like range in his chest.
Jesus.
He really like he's cool as crap. He's really awesome. And just like the way they did like the eyes and stuff like that, how they kind of like sunken in here a little bit. It's he's so neat. Like I love him. He just sits up here, we hang out, still talk about
That
things.
announcement for that comic wave was the one I popped the biggest for, because I was like, yeah, Rom, like so
Yeah.
unheralded.
Yeah, and we got like Crystar last year, and maybe it might get like that Green Archer guy from the Crystar comics maybe in the future. I don't know. But
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what that Green Arrow accessory that
yeah.
they teased. I think that's a lot of the speculation, is that they're going to
Yeah.
keep adding to that. See, my hope is that they're doing those weird like offshoot characters. Like I'd love to see like Marvel's, hopefully. I mean, right now this Mythic Legions version will have to do, but like I would love like a
Yeah,
Marvel Conan
totally.
figure, like a Marvel Legends Conan. That would be that would
Yeah.
be amazing. But yeah, I
They
so
really
many
are.
possibilities, and clearly like it was made evident that Jesse Falcon kind of fought for that Rom figure
Hmm.
to be made. And it clearly is very popular. Same with Crystar. So I think there's proof that like
Mm-hmm.
these kind of fringe characters have a place in
Yeah.
people's collections. So hopefully they continue
Yeah.
riding that
I hope
wave.
so too.
All right,
My
Dave,
number one.
your
So
number
Eric,
one.
I'm a little bit older
Surprise
than
me.
you, but I am ultimately a child of the '80s, and this one hit super hard for me when I first saw it. Back at
Okay.
was Comic Con the previous Comic Con the first place I saw this. I think so. Um, and I
Okay.
might be wrong, and it may be Toy Fair, but you'll be able to help out with that more. But this was one of those ones that I saw it and I'm like, oh, I gotta get this. And I don't even think you knew that I wanted this. And I'm just gonna tell you to come in and pull yourself up a chair. Blaine, you did it.
Pee
It's
Wee.
Pee Wee.
Nice.
Um,
We're back to Pee Wee. We
there's
do
one
have there is one
overlap.
overlap. We've
I
got
did a good job keeping that a
one
surprise.
overlap.
But the box design, like
You
I love
did?
that it's the
Oh
Playhouse
yeah.
store. Like I could just see like the traveling salesman in the
Salesman.
um the likeness is fantastic. Like you can see with Terry and everything, you can see the love and care that was put into it. I love that the secret words, like I remember I saw
Yep.
Pee Wee's Big Adventure in the movies, probably younger than I should have. Definitely saw the HBO special younger than I should have. But
Yeah, most of it goes
100%.
over your
But then
head
I saw it
anyway.
older, and I'm like, whoa. And that new
Yeah.
special was awesome. I wish I was able to go see it live, but those tickets were borderline impossible to get at the time.
Christian and
Yeah, I
Erica
do.
were at one of those.
Um,
Yeah.
but
Insane.
yeah, that for me was like I was looking at it and I was looking at Pop and I'm like, I love both of these so much, but like the nostalgia of Pee Wee is just like they'd hang out 100%.
What a
Um,
pair. What a pair.
it's great, and I want more Playhouse stuff just like you. But I don't
Yeah.
dabble into the NECA so much because it is just like it's like if I got into classifieds, like it would be trouble.
Mm,
So a one
yeah.
shot figure like a Pee Wee is perfect for me because it nails everything that I need it to. There's no need for me to get a second one if they made it. Like, give
Yeah.
me the bike,
Yeah.
and we'll be on our way.
Yeah. Yeah. Super cool. All right. So my number one. should be absolutely no surprise to anybody listening, present company included. You're absolutely right. I can make your hands clap. I can make his hands clap. Um, Maximum Series Hulk. Uh, if you listen to our last live stream, I waxed poetically about this figure for
It's
quite some
fantastic.
time, so I'll spare you all. I will spare you all the same diatribe again, but yeah, I love this figure. This is the Hulk figure I have literally always wanted. I think people are being really hard on it. Uh, it's just a moment in time that Hasbro just you know they're making some of the coolest stuff that they've ever made, and people are just in this state of like criticism where like we just it's illegal to have fun anymore. Like, yeah, like, do I wish it was a little cheaper? Sure. But ultimately at the end of the day, am I super glad that I have a Hulk figure that can finally gamma clap and comes with accessories, and because I have every other Legends Hulk that they've made, I can effectively cobble together my own like super ultimate version of Hulk. I can put the shirt from the 80th anniversary on him. I can use the stomp effect from the 20th anniversary Marvel Legends one, and I can use the clap effects from this, and I have like the ultimate posed out, displayed, Incredible Hulk. Um, yeah, I'm super stoked. And the other thing too is that I think a lot of people are kind of passing on is, now that they've done this, right? And John, I echo your sentiments. I don't foresee an issue with this. Like, I don't think it's just not going to hold up. Like, I think it'll
No,
be
we'll be
fine.
gone.
But now that they've done this mold exists now. Like, we've paid for the Maximum Series Hulk so that way future Hulks can continue to do cool shit. So like with all of these Marvel versus Capcom figures coming out, like it would not surprise me if they did a Hulk with that head, with like the Marvel versus Capcom style head, and maybe like the
Yeah,
brown pants.
the
Um
the black tank
and
top.
you can give him that effect piece of like, yep, ripping up the ground, like
Yeah,
that effect piece. And he can do that
Hmm.
now because he can get his hands close enough together to do
And
that.
they announced that new game
uh
today. I'd be
yeah,
shocked if
I
Hulk
just,
wasn't a part of it.
yeah, yeah, I can't say enough good things about this. If you're on the fence and you're a fan of Hulk, this is the best he's ever been. So I
Yeah,
I, I can't
I think
can't say enough good
those
things about
those
it.
have been 2 for 2.
Yeah, both. And listen, the one piece of feedback that I totally understand with this is the faces, that the
Hmm.
heads, the faces, whatever way you want to say it. Whether it's you wanted three, of the same, like same Hulk, but in three different expressions, like that's a totally reasonable piece of feedback. Like if you wanted like a neutral, an angry, and like a enraged head of the same version of Hulk, like totally valid feedback. But I think it's cool that they gave us three different artists.
Hmm.
That's and I'm sticking with that. So
I like the
yeah.
experimental nature of that Hulk.
Um.
Just I like the idea that it's trying something different. And I think that's why again I think I would favor that over the Maximum Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man's great, but we've kind of seen all that before. I mean, it's done in a really good way, but I think it's something new for Marvel Legends. Do they go forward with like bigger guys? Are they gonna try to do like a soft chest type thing, or maybe expand on that idea for future releases? It's
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah. Use that material for different
yeah,
parts. Like maybe they use it for like shorts or something to be able to give more movement, or
Hmm.
yeah,
other
kind of like
material. Yeah.
with what's
Yeah.
his name, like because like can you do like a soft like crotch piece because so like your Marvel Legends can go like do like crazy different like splits or whatever. It's
Yep.
there's a lot of
Yep.
there's a lot of stuff you can kind of mess around with there, and when I guess when they have the budget of a Maximum figure, then they can maybe they can experiment and find new things. And Maybe it doesn't hit with everybody, but
Something will.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like we
Yep.
didn't have a wrestling figure
Yep.
that could put his hands in his pockets till we did. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
now,
It's
if
very,
you
very
think
true.
about it, all right, we know how to put hands in pockets. That could be really used anywhere.
What Marvel Legends needs to do
Yep.
though,
Yep.
crossed
And
arms. Like they need, you know how like Figure Arts does like all the Dragon Balls have the crossed
Hmm.
arm like pieces. I think we
yep.
need to do more.
Yep.
Yes.
Every Vegeta.
And anytime I buy a figure that has crossed arms, the crossed arm piece has to be displayed on it.
Oh yeah. That's how I'm looking at my Vegeta. I can't grab him right now, but like my Super Saiyan Vegeta is just permanently, grinning at me with
Yeah.
his arms
Man,
crossed.
crossed arms would be like cool.
But there's a lot of superhero figures could benefit from that. I mean, the Maximum Spider-Man, if you put the wall crawling hands on him and turn them the right way, you can actually, those butterflies are deep enough where you can tuck them
Mhm.
under his arms and you can make it look
Yeah.
like his arms are crossed. But like, yeah, think about like the amount of times there's a picture of like
Oh,
Superman with his
100%.
arms
Yeah.
crossed,
Like every
or
superhero has that. That's like
yeah,
I mean, that's one of the superhero poses, and we've never actually gotten that piece.
yep.
Be cool.
Mattel,
Oh,
you know
I
what to
Oh
mean,
do,
god.
Mattel.
how many
I'm not
wrestlers have
ready to
shaken
start another
hands?
DC collection.
Yeah, how many wrestlers have shaken hands and we only got one figure that's done it so far? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
mhm.
but that was very funny. All right, guys. Well, we did it.
Yeah,
29 unique picks across
I
3 people that spend way too
I
much money
knew
and time on
that was
toys.
going to be our crossover.
Interesting. I did not predict that at all. I know that you're a big Pee-wee fan as well, which is probably part of the reason
Hmm.
why I'm such a big fan. But
But yeah,
um
that's
yeah. Well, John, thank you so much for taking the time to
Thank you
yes,
do
for
this
having
with
me.
us.
It's been great.
I'm sure everyone watching and listening already knows how and where to find you, but please remind them where can they where can they follow you
I mean, the
on
best
social
place to
media?
follow me is at preternia.com on Twitter. That's always been my kind of main thing. But I mean, I'm on all the socials. I post links and stuff there and whatever toy news is happening at the time. So look me up, and that's where I'll be.
Yeah. And shouts to you. I love those new infographics you've been doing with like the pre-order like window
yeah,
stuff
Oh,
where you've been
thank you.
posting like all the Marvel Legends with the
the
dates and like
location.
a
Yeah,
nice graphic. That has
Well, I
been
like when they
nice
give us like a
touch.
little
Nice
like
touch.
almost like a roadmap for a few like the month ahead or whatever. Then you can kind of like do stuff like that. But when they're just like
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah. I mean, well, I kind of get that also like 'cause I try to do like a San Diego Comic-Con like checklist thing. So I think I started from that and then
Yep.
yeah, it's kind of fun doing it's just fun to switch things up every once in a while.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming out of the shadows and
yeah.
joining us for this
You're
this
welcome.
top 10 list, and maybe at the end of the year we'll
Yes.
have to do this again and have
That's fun.
you repeat, and we'll revisit our top
No, I
10
think that's
lists
a
and see
great
where we
Yeah.
idea.
are at the end of the year.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll
Yeah.
go back into the
Hopefully.
shadows until you guys summon me again.
I feel like there's like we have
All
to do like
right.
an incantation and like a spell.
I was gonna say, is there a spell? We'll have
Yes.
to work on that. Uh, Dave, with that, I think that's gonna
Yeah.
be it for this. That's a wrap.
All right.
Send us home.
We'll see you in 6 months and we'll do this all again.